Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a fun one because we are going to be playing with the new Colourpop Fine Feathered collection. Colourpop launched two mini collections. One was the High Tide collection, which had a lot of blues and teals. I still think it's a missed opportunity that they didn't call that Teal the Cows Come Home, but what do I know? And this is the Fine Feathered collection, which is more pinky, but almost fuchsia toned. And I didn't have any shades like this in my collection. I tried to dupe it, I was unsuccessful. Like I had nothing that was even remotely close. So, but even duping this in like my collection that wasn't Colourpop, I did have a hard time duping this. I couldn't really find a ton that was even remotely similar. So if you're looking for uniqueness, I would definitely recommend this palette. I feel like Colourpop has done a really good job at creating color stories that you can't find anywhere else, which is fantastic because for a long time I was getting really bored with Colourpop. And the thing is, I still think that the launches are happening too fast. I will say it doesn't look like they're taking that feedback and it doesn't look like they're going to slow down. So at least they're coming out with color stories that I enjoy looking at, that speak to me, that I think are unique. It's not just like the same thing over and over again. There was a point in time where that was happening, so I'm really happy about that. Watch they launch like a collection full of neutrals that I already have next. Anyway, I really enjoyed this collection. It also comes with a Supershock shadow duo and an eyeliner duo. You can buy everything separately or you can get it in a bundle for a discount. And yeah, this is like one of their mini collections, I guess. I don't know. I don't even know. Like, I feel like I'm like, oh, this is Colourpop's summer collection, but then they come out with 3 others that are like their summer collection. I don't even know what's what anymore. So these are like their summer mini collections, I guess. I don't really know. I don't know what's going on over there at Colourpop. They are just like little ants working away. They never sleep. Today I am playing with the collection. This is how the look turned out. I actually really love it. I didn't think I would like it this much, but honestly, the standout products of the whole collection for me are the Supershock shadows. They're so pretty. So pretty. And yeah, if you want to see how I achieved this look and see some swatches and my attempted dupes, I didn't dupe all of them because there were some shades in that palette where I just had literally zilch similar to it, like not even remotely close, so I didn't even try. It would just be such a far stretch that it's like, that's not even a dupe, you know? So yes, if you want to see the dupes that I could come up with and see how I got this look, it's really pretty and it was really easy, then just keep watching. Okay, my friends, so today we are going to be talking about the Fine Feathered palette. I can't remember the name of that one either. I said in my last High Tide video that I couldn't remember the name of the palette, so I guess that translates over here as well. Look how pretty that is. It's very unique to my collection personally. I don't have any of the pink monochromatic Colourpop palettes, so I think it's the Ooh La La palette, and they also have the Cloud Spun one, which is more pastels. I don't have either of those, so this is like my first kind of pinky toned Colourpop monochromatic palette. So I tried to dupe it and I failed miserably, so I'm just gonna like completely remove that portion of the video for this one, just because like this was my attempt to dupe. I got like halfway there, about a little over halfway. That should count for something. I just didn't have anything even remotely similar, so I was like, you know what, I'm not even gonna dupe it. So I just thought we would go ahead and swatch. I will give you the dupes that I do have, but they're not very good dupes, so I don't even know if it's worth it, honestly, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I think I'm just gonna swatch them on my hand again because I'm just too lazy to get up. Usually I do it on my arm, but I'm too lazy to stand up and like show you my arm, so we're just gonna do the hand today. So just like the High Tide collection, this one comes with an eyeshadow palette. I'm trying to see how much this retails for. This is $14. Then it also comes with a little Supershock shadow duo, which retails for $12, so $6 each. And then it comes with an eyeliner duo that retails for $14, so $7 per liner. But if you buy the bundle that comes with the palette, the Supershock shadows, and the cream gel liner set, it will cost you $29 as opposed to $40, which is the full value. So I just wanted to do like a little cost breakdown for you, and then yeah, let's get into swatches. The first shade we have here is called Tweet Me, and I couldn't really find like a really close dupe for this one, honestly, and I'm very surprised because I feel like I have a million of Colourpop's light peachy pink shades and I couldn't find one that was really that similar. So this is the shade Tweet Me, and Colourpop describes this one as a metallic peachy pink. I find in the light, you really get that peachy pink duochrome almost, like that flash. This next one, I could not find a dupe to save my life. Everything was either way too pink or way too purple or way too cool or way too peach. I mean, That doesn't make any sense. It just like described all the colors surrounding it, but it is the shade High Flying, and I just couldn't find something that matched exactly. Everything that I had just pulled too strongly in like one particular direction. So this is the shade High Flying, and ColourPop describes this one as a warm matte rose. Super pretty. I love that one. I might actually take out that color and put it in my kit. It's really beautiful. And to finish off the top row, the last shade we have here is called Of a Feather. And this one is a sequin formula. ColourPop describes this one as a dusty mauve with pinpoints of gold and silver. So you can kind of see those shimmer particles in the sequin formula. It's really pretty, but this one was very dupeable. ColourPop puts out a lot of these shades. A couple examples I have are from the So Jaded palette, the shade Ametrine. Ametrine? I don't really know how to pronounce it. I'm not into crystals. I do have that one right here. I'll just show you for comparison. May as well while we're here. I have them right in front of me. So as you can see, they are pretty similar. This one is from the Fine Feathered palette, and this one is the So Jaded. The one from the Fine Feather palette is a little bit deeper, but they are pretty similar. And then I have a similar shade here as well. This is from the Stolen Cold Fox palette, and it is the shade Play It Cool. I also had a bunch of other ones. I think there was one in the It's My Pleasure palette. There was just a bunch. This shade is put out by ColourPop fairly frequently, so if you're interested in just that shade in particular, I would definitely take a look at ColourPop's website because they have a ton of those shades. So that was the first row of the palette. Now on to the second. The next shade we have is a matte shade, and it is called Take a Gander. ColourPop describes this one as a mid-toned matte coral pink. Again, I couldn't really find anything similar to this one, even though I have a ton of corals from ColourPop. I checked the Baby Got Peach palette. I also checked the Costa Coral palette, among others, and I just couldn't find anything that was even remotely similar, really. I think the closest shade I found was from the Main Squeeze palette, but it wasn't that similar, so I didn't even bother including it. I just want to give you a little comparison between the two shades Take a Gander and High Flying. So these are the two matte shades in the palette. This is the shade Take a Gander, and this is the shade High Flying, and as you can see, they are fairly different. This one is a lot lighter, so yeah, they just kind of look similar in the pan, so I thought I'd show you the difference in a swatch. Okay, next up we have the shade called No Flocks, and ColourPop describes this one as a metallic rose. It's a really pretty color. This one I actually didn't have a hard time duping, so I will go ahead and show you what I found. It's from the Wine and Only palette, and it is the shade Cast a Chateau. I'll just put it like below so that you don't get it confused with the shade that's actually in the palette. So this is the shade No Flux, and this is the shade Cast a Chateau. They are fairly similar. This one has maybe a little bit more of a pinky purple flip though. Okay, and next up, this is the last shade in the middle row. This one I didn't find any dupes for. Everything was either too dark or too light or not purple enough, too purple. You know the drill. Nothing was quite right. This is the shade Goose Chase, and ColourPop describes it as a deep, cool toned matte fuchsia. I definitely see that kind of fuchsia undertone, and I think that's what makes this shade pretty unique. It is important to note that this shade is not suitable for use on the immediate eye area because it will stain. It should be fine, but I just feel like I need to say that so you can make an informed purchase if this is something you are interested in. And moving on to the final row, the first shade we have here is called Nest Egg. ColourPop describes this one as a rich matte red fuchsia. Very beautiful. I did find a dupe for this one. I'm not sure how good of a dupe it is, honestly. Yeah, it's a little bit too red. This is again from the Wine and Only palette, and it is the shade Mull It Over, but as I'm looking now in natural light, they are definitely a little bit too different. I wouldn't really consider this a dupe. So this is the shade Nest Egg right here, and then this is from the Wine and Only palette, and this shade is called Mull It Over. It is a little bit deeper and it does pull more red, whereas this one has a little more pink to it. So yeah, not super similar, but that was the closest that I could come up with. It is also important to note that that shade Nest Egg is also not suitable for use around the immediate eye area, again, just because of the dyes. The next shade, oh, this one's like the most unique out of the entire palette. It's the one that I'm definitely the most excited for, I think. This shade is called Hen Party, and ColourPop describes this one as a vibrant matte fuchsia. It definitely almost has like a purple element to it. I mean, I guess that's kind of like what fuchsia is, but I don't know, it pulls more purple than a true fuchsia in my personal opinion. It is also important to note that this is not suitable for the immediate eye area again. So the last three shades were not. I couldn't find anything even close to this in my collection. So, and finally for the last shade, we have the shade Telltale. Colourpop describes this one as a matte smoky plum. I would agree with that. This one had a lot of similar shades in the Colourpop range. This one is also suitable for the eye area, so this one is fine. I did find a couple similar shades, but like not like crazy similar. I need to stop duping late at night because things look way different in fluorescent lighting versus natural lighting. So things that I thought were dupes last night, I'm looking and I'm like, what, are you crazy or just blind? I don't know. But I did find one shade that was a bit similar. This is the shade Telltale from the Fine Feathered palette, and then this is the Sagittarius from the Kathleen Lights and Zodiac palette. I know at one point Colourpop did have the shades from the Zodiac collection in single eyeshadows, so if you do like this shade, then maybe look into that. I'm not sure if they're still available, but I know they did do that at one time, but Colourpop discontinues things faster than I can keep track. So yeah, those were the swatches of the Fine Feathered palette. I really like it. I think it's super beautiful and quite unique. Obviously, I had a tricky time duping this, so that tells me that it is more of a unique color story, so I'm excited about that. And next up, let's get into swatching this, the On the Wing Supershock Shadow Duo. I have already swatched this like on my own time, and they're beautiful. I'm so excited. I didn't use the Supershock Duo for the High Tide collection. I'll link it in the cards up above if you're interested. I didn't use those Supershock shadows in my look, but I think I'm gonna have to use one of these because they are stunning. I really like light pinky mauve tones. So the first one is a metallic finish, and it is the shade Bubbly. This is what it looks like. Oh, look how metallic and shiny that is. Wow, that is so beautiful. There's nothing like a fresh Supershock shadow. It's like the best feeling. That is so metallic and sparkly. Wow. So this is the first shade here. It's called Bubbly. Colourpop describes it as a pink satin with tons of silver and pink glitter. You can see the glitter as the shadow hits the light for sure. It is like ultra metallic, so beautiful. I'm surprised it's not considered an ultra metallic formula. It's just a regular metallic, but oh my goodness, how gorgeous. The next shade we have is the shade Plume, and this one is a ultra glitter formula. Just the sheer amount of sparkle in these is actually insane. I wonder if it's real glitter. I wouldn't think so, but who knows. So this darker one is the shade Plume. Colourpop describes this one as a cool toned rose drizzled with pink and silvery glitter pinpoints. Wow, look how gorgeous and like so reflective, right? These are beautiful. I think Bubbly is my favorite. I just really enjoy light pinks. So pretty, both of them. And finally, I have one of the shades of the Cream Gel Liner Duo. I did not have the shade Loverboy. Colourpop describes that one as a bright fuchsia. I do not have that shade. I don't know if it's possible to buy that separately or what, but I do have the second shade, so that counts for something, right? This is the shade Charmer. Colourpop describes this one as a deep plum. Super beautiful and really rich. I don't think I've actually used this shade before, so we're gonna use it today. And yeah, I think that is it for the swatches of the collection. Now let's get into a little eye look demo. Okay friends, so we are zoomed in and ready to start a little bit of a demo. Not 100% sure of what I want to do today, but we'll figure it out as we go. I'm definitely not gonna go like as crazy as my last video. No full-blown cut crease or anything like that today. No rhinestones either. So I'm just gonna prep my lids using my e.l.f. Camo. You guys know the drill, and I'm just going to blend it out. Okay, now where do I want to go with this? I'm gonna go into this shade. Yes, I'm gonna go into this shade here. What's it even called? Hen Party. Not approved for use on the eye area, but I'm okay with a little bit of staining today. I think I'm gonna do a halo type eye today, but I think it's gonna be a little bit easier than my last one. I don't know, we'll see. Okay, I'm just getting ahead of myself here. So I'm just going to take that shade Hen Party, and I'm going to apply it to my crease area. I might have wanted to go with a smaller brush. That's okay though. So I'm just applying this to the crease. I'm also gonna take it onto the lid. I think I'm actually gonna take it like all over and just kind of set the lid area with this shade. I really like this color, so we're just gonna go all in, you know? Okay, and we're done. No, I'm just kidding. I need to stop like trying to make jokes. I'm not actually funny. Then I'm gonna go into this shade here called High Flying. I'm just gonna use it on the same brush, and I'm going to apply this a little higher up into the crease. Kind of using this as like a transition shade. It will be a transition shade. I just need to like blend it, you know? Then I'm gonna use my Urban Decay Naked the Fix powder, and I'm just going to place this on the brow bone area so that I don't take any other shadows up too high, and to just set the rest of the area so it's not tacky. Then I'm gonna go into this shade here called Goose Chase. I'm using like all the ones that aren't approved for use on the eye area. I'm gonna have some major pinky purple lids today. And I'm just going to take this and kind of deepen the inner and outer corner, but keep it fairly low. I'm not taking it super high into the crease. I just want a little bit of depth in the inner and outer corner. And I might even take it like a little bit along the lash line, but not too much. Okay, so then I'm just gonna grab a little tiny brush so I can blend like more precisely. This is a ColourPop E27. I feel like not a lot of people talk about ColourPop brushes. I could be wrong, but like a lot of people that I watch don't really talk about them. And they're really good. I enjoy them. Even for my kit, I use a lot of ColourPop brushes. I just think there's certain ColourPop products that are really underrated. Not ColourPop as like a brand, because like they have a lot of hype, but just certain products. There, so it's a little bit softer now. I'm also gonna go back in with this brush that I applied the pressed powder with, and I'm just gonna kind of further that softening of the edge. That's really pretty, I like that. Okay, and then I'm going to use my two Supershock shadows. I'm gonna use both of them actually. I love using Supershock shadows for halo eyes because it makes everything just so easy. You don't have to like apply concealer or anything. It's just, you just apply this down the center. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm first taking the shade Plume and just applying it to the center of the lid. And I'm going to actually kind of take it like a little bit into the inner and outer corner. Nothing too crazy, but I'm kind of like diffusing the edge a little bit so it's not super stark in the center. And to apply Supershock shadows, I just apply them with my finger and I start wherever I want the most pigmentation and then kind of move outwards. So since I want these edges to be a little more diffused, I wouldn't set my finger down with the product like immediately on the edges. I'm just kind of like lightly tapping along when there's less product on my finger to kind of diffuse it. And then right down the center, I'm gonna take the lighter one. This is the shade Bubbly. Makes me want to sing Bubbly by Colby Calais, but I'm not going to because copyright. I need to stay monetized, man. Finances are hard these days. So I'm just gonna take that shade Bubbly and just kind of apply it like right in the middle to bring a little more light into the center of the lid. Oh, I love a good Supershock shadow, man. They honestly never get old and they never really fail me. I don't think I've ever used a metallic Supershock shadow that I've been disappointed in. The mattes are kind of like, meh, but the metallics always on point. And then I usually do liquid liner almost always, but I'm gonna do pencil today. Who am I? I don't know. So this is the ColourPop Cream Gel Liner, again in the shade Charmer. Never used this shade. I've actually never used cream gel liners as like an upper liner situation. Oh, sorry, itchy nose. So we're gonna learn together. I did some crying yesterday, I'm not gonna lie, and my lids are still a little puffy. And you know when your lids were puffy and then they start to deflate and your eyelids get super wrinkly? That's what I'm going through right now. So I feel like liquid liner might be a bit tricky. So we're gonna try this today. I'm just going to run the product along my lash line. It's a little bit stiff, I'm not gonna lie, but I think that might be the color. I doubt they're all like this. Purples are hard to do. I won't knock them too much. You just have to go over it a few times to like warm up the product. And then I'm just gonna take this teeny tiny brush. This is a Morphe E35. And I'm gonna take the deepest shade in the palette. This is the shade Telltale. And I'm gonna kind of place it over the liner and also use this shade to kind of smudge it out a little bit. I can't believe I've never really used like pencil liner on my lid, like ever. I don't know why I just get so stuck in my ways that I like never try new makeup techniques. And I really should, especially as a makeup artist. Just like to stick to what works, you know? I have anxiety, okay? I don't like trying new things. I'm also gonna like take this and kind of feather it into the inner and outer corner, just a smidge, just to kind of tie in the entire look. Okay, so I'm just gonna pop off camera real quickly. As I do, I'm going to finish off my face. I'm gonna do the other eye and then I will come back and we can finish off the lower lash line and the eyes. And yeah, and then I can give you my final thoughts and we'll be done for the day. I feel like this video is going by super quickly. It's probably not, knowing me, because I talk too much, but it feels like it. So I will be right back. Okay, so I have finished my foundation and such. I have my concealer on, as you can see. So I'm just gonna finish up my lower lash line. That's just the order I do things. And yeah, and then I'll move on to the rest of my face, but I probably won't do that on camera. I'm first going to go into this shade, the deepest one. What's it called again? Telltale. I'm just using this on like a little flat definer brush. This one's from Sigma. It's an E15. It's really old though, so it might not be the same number. So I need to tap out that crease. Tap, 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 tap. Let's try that again. Going into that Telltale shade And I'm just keeping this really close to the lash line because I don't want it to be a super dark and smoky lash line, but I do want to match what we have going on the upper lid. So just like that. And then I'm going into this shade here, Goose Chase. No, I lied. I'm gonna go into this shade here called Hen Party, and I'm gonna use this on a little pencil brush. This is also by Sigma, not sure of the name because it's rubbed off. And I'm just gonna place that shade Hen Party right under that darker shade. I love this color, man. It is so pretty. And then I'm going to take the same pencil brush and I'm just gonna kind of like wipe off the excess product, and I'm gonna go into this shade here called High Flying, and I'm just going to use that to kind of blend everything out. I'm also connecting it to the upper. Then I'm just going to take my Laura Mercier translucent powder and I'm just going to use this on a little crease brush, and I'm just going to apply it to my under eyes and kind of use that. Oh, there's glitter on this. Crap. Don't you hate that when you use a brush and you think it's clean, but there's glitter on it from something? Now I have a glittery under eye, but it's okay. So I'm just going to use that to set my under eyes. Then I'm going to take the shade Tweet Me, the light pink shade in the palette, and I'm going to use this as a highlight shade. I'm going to apply it under the arch of my brow bone, and then I'm also going to use this on my inner corner. I don't know why I'm like singing all the steps. I'm like, inner corner. I don't know why I do that. It's strange. I'm gonna do a pretty strong inner corner. I want like a lot of light to be brought into that area. Then again, I'm gonna take the cream gel liner in the shade Charmer, and I'm going to use this to line my waterline. This is definitely a lot smokier than I was intending on going today, but like, it's fine. Then for mascara, just like my last few videos, I'm gonna go in with my NYX On The Rise. I'll get rid of this soon. It's almost done. Couple more uses and I'll get rid of it. What's your favorite drugstore mascara? I'm gonna need a new one after I get rid of this one. I personally like rubberized bristles the best, but I'm open to trying anything. Okay, and that is the completed look. I'm going to do the other eye, finish off my face, add some fake lashes. I can't talk when I'm doing that anyway, and then we will circle back and finish off the video. Okay friends, so I have finished the rest of my face, as you can see, and this is the completed look. I really like how it turned out. I feel really pretty in this makeup. It is a little more dramatic than I was intending on going, but it happens and it's still a pretty look. So I really like it. And yeah, a little review on the Fine Feather palette. I really enjoy it. I really enjoy everything Colourpop launches, it seems. So if you're like me and you don't have a ton of pinks or purples in your collection, I would recommend this palette. I think it's very unique, especially like these berry tones that pull more purple. I don't have anything like them in my collection. Even from brands that aren't Colourpop, I checked my whole collection. I don't really have things that are similar. So yeah, everything performed beautifully. The standout products for me, honestly, were the Supershock shadows. I think these ones are so beautiful. I like these ones way more than the ones that were included in the High Tide set. I'm drawn to pinks and purples, and these did not disappoint. The glitter on these was so beautiful, and for $6 each, you can't go wrong. Also, I have a little, it's like a blemish, I guess. I just picked it. I've been picking at my lips. I need to stop it. It's because I'm super stressed right now, and I need to get my nails done. But please disregard that. I just like was nervous and just ripped the skin right off. You would think I'd get over that after like a year of having nails consistently, but as soon as the nails come off, I am back to it. It's not good. Yeah, this collection is really unique. Honestly, I don't think I have anything similar to these Supershock shadows. I definitely don't have these exact colors in my collection. I know the shade Coconut from the High Tide collection is a re-promote. I'm not really sure about these, honestly. But regardless, I've never owned them and I think they're so incredibly beautiful. So if you're interested in these, I would say go for it. I really don't think you'd be disappointed. The cream gel liner in the shade Charmer, I don't think I've ever used this before, and it was a little bit dry. It applied to the waterline really nicely, so that's great. But on the upper lash line, it was a little bit stiff. But I feel like that would be the case with most burgundy liners or like plumish liners, so I don't know. And yeah, I really enjoyed the palette. I think all of the shades are very unique. I think they're all very beautiful. Not a ton to say. The packaging is gorgeous, as always. And yeah, I would really recommend this collection if you're interested in the color story. If you don't like pinks and purples, then, you know, pass on this one. There's always a Colourpop palette that will speak to your soul color story-wise. So if this one isn't for you, maybe pass on it and go for something else. But yeah, that was it for this video. I don't know why I continue to like review Colourpop products because honestly, for the most part, they're pretty good. I don't really have any issues. I did have a couple palettes that I thought were duds, but that was like back in December, and since then, everything has pretty much been a hit for me personally. So yeah, thanks for hanging out with me while I play with this new collection. I really enjoy how everything turned out. And yeah, I think that's it for me today. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you so much for watching if you've made it this far. Please don't forget to subscribe if you want to. If you don't, that's okay. I just really appreciate you being here. It helps out my channel so very much by you watching, so thank you. Please leave any video requests you may have in the comments down below, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!